How's it going, guys? aRenG Life here, and today we're taking a look at the new box that is going to drop soon, actually on the 31st, or for if you're living in the US. So it's coming here for the New Year's. We're getting Revolution Beginning. Alright, so this card is actually kind of coming as a surprise in multiple ways. So we have Revolution Beginning right now, who is, the boss monster is Junk Destroyer, which is a Yusei card. But it's not a signer card. It's not a signer dragon, which is it's a bit interesting. I don't know. I feel like Konami's intentionally breaking up their design to kind of throw people off their track. I still believe in January we are going to be getting a Red Dragon Archfiend box, which is, it's kind of strange because that would imply that we're getting this card on the 31st. I think we got Secrets of the Ancients on the 9th, December 9th. So this box is legitimately coming 20 days away, or 21 days away, I think. Or somewhere around there, 20, 21, 22 days away. So it's less than a month, probably, I don't know, less than a month, and we're getting a new box. So I think they're trying to rush out something for some reason, but whatever. So we're getting that. Like I said, I also feel like we are going to be getting that Red Dragon Archfiend. But does that mean it's going to be a mini box? I'm not sure about that, but whatever. And I guess that would imply that after Red Dragon Archfiend, we are going to be getting a Black Rose Dragon as a main box. So we're gonna get Black Rose as a main box, which I guess makes sense, but whatever, that's just my speculation. But without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get started at taking a look at the best cards in this box. Let's go ahead and box review. First up, we got the main flagship monster, which is that Junk Destroyer. When this card is Synchro Summon, you can target cards on the field up to the number of non-tuner monsters used for the Synchro Summon of this card and destroy those targets, which is pretty cool. I mean, you basically use, well, I don't know, two Synchro materials, and you can like pop 2 cards. So that gives you kind of more benefits to using more monsters. So that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. So if you can make a Stardust, you can make this guy. Except this guy requires Junk Synchron. So if you have a full-on Junk Synchron deck, there you go. You got this bad boy. Next up, we're looking at another UR. We got Karakuri Shogun MDL00 Brute. So this guy is another boss monster who I feel like, I honestly feel like this guy is like a missed opportunity in Duel Links, because I feel like this guy works better in the TCG because they have a main phase 2. But I'll go ahead and read the effects. I explained it to you. It says when this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon 1 Karakuri monster from your deck. Pretty good effect. Pretty good. Because you summon from the deck, so you get this one plus another monster for free. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. It pays for himself because you're going to be using probably 2 monsters, or hopefully not more, to synchro into this guy. So you get this guy and another card straight to the field. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster on the field and change its battle position. That would be really, really useful if you actually like had a main phase 2. You'd be able to attack, your monster goes to the defense, you activate your thing to switch it back. But in Duel Links, it's going to be pretty much primarily used to switch your opponent's monster to defense to run it over, or switch it to attack to deal some major damage, because remember, your deck is all about attacking. So I think that's going to be the whole point of your deck. It would have been nice if you had like a way to inherently like stop your opponent from activating stuff in their back row or something, but whatever. I mean, I still think it's an okay card. Next up, we got Ancient Sacred Wyvern, which is pretty cool. We got a level 7 light fairy monster. Needs a light tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters, so it's not generic, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it does say while your life points are higher than your opponent's, this card gains attack equal to the difference, which could be insane. Imagine playing a straight up life point gain deck where you just use like the ladybugs in your hand every turn to heal. You're gonna make this thing enormous. It's gonna be beautiful. I swear. But it also has this this downside, and it says while your life points are lower than your opponent's, this card loses attack equal to the difference. So you can see this thing probably getting to like 100 attack, 1000 attack. It can become pretty weak. So when you're losing, this card is bad. When you're winning, this card is good. So I don't know what deck you could probably use it in. Maybe Aromages or something with a light tuner. I don't know, maybe. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can pay 1000 life points to special summon this card. So that's a really good effect as well, because if you have a huge amount of life points, so it only would really be good in a life point gain deck. So where you have like, I don't know, 8,000, 10,000 life points, where you can spare using 1,000 life points each time to summon it, and it'll just lose 1,000 attack each time. So I think that's really, really cool monster. I really want to mess with it. Next up, we got Underworld Fighter Monk. I feel like this card is mainly a stepping stone. It's not a boss monster. It could probably be used in its own deck. It's kind of like a locked-in card for a certain deck where you can use it to gain more advantages. But the thing is, this card has to be destroyed by a card effect and sent to the grave. So you cannot be like destroying it by battle does nothing. So you can synchro into him and you get a 2100 beater. That's it if you want to be battling. But if he is destroyed by a card effect, which not too many things do, they mostly destroy by battle and Duel Links. If he is destroyed by a card effect, you get his effect, which says you can target a level 4 or lower monster in your grave, except this card, and special summon that target. Depending on what that level 4 or lower monster is, it could be really, really good or just really, really bad. But I don't know. I feel like this card could be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure somebody will find something interesting for him. Next up, we're moving into them Fabled. So we got Fabled Cerberel. I cannot say that, I swear. This card, a pretty short explanation. If it's discarded to the grave, special summon it. Really, really good card, actually, if you use it in Fabled, because you discard it, you get a free level 2 monster out. You don't really care too much about the attack, but you can use it. It's a tuner, so you're instantly going to be able to synchro. If you actually send it away for Tricky, that's an instant level 7 synchro, I believe, because it is discarded. So Tricky should trigger it. It should. So that's pretty cool, because it's a good way to get a tuner out. So really, really good tuner. Next up, we got Fabled Grimroll over here. It says if you control a face-up Fabled monster, you can send this card from your hand to the grave and add a Fabled monster from your deck to your hand. So it's basically a Fabled search card, which is not bad. So you summon a Fabled, activate her effect, get the exact Fable you want in your hand, potentially activate another card, discard that Fable to get the desired effect. It's a really good consistency card. So all that you are Fabled, they're going to be really good. Next up, we got Doom Caliber Knight. This card I thought was really, really cool a while back, because I was looking at it and I was like, wow, this guy pretty much negates specs and stuff like that, because it says during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated, tribute this face-up card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. So it's like your opponent's trying to make their plays, you negate. Negates are always good, and you get rid of their thing, and now they can't do their play. But the thing is, I think there is a downside to this guy, whereas it's basically it has to tribute itself. It has to activate. You do not choose what monster you want to negate, which would be amazing if that was the point. It says you have to tribute, pretty much. When a monster effect is activated, tribute. Even if your monster effect is activated, it would tribute. So I don't know, man. I feel like Doom Caliber Knight is a double-edged sword. It can be pretty risky. It's a nice 1900 beater, but your opponent can bait out the destruction of this by activating a smaller or other monster effect to destroy that one and then hit you with their true effect. So, I don't know. I feel like this is alright, but whatever. It's like, I was a little bit disillusioned since somebody told me in the comments how this guy really works. Miracle Fusion is a card I'm actually pretty hyped for, because this is an E-Hero Fusion card, so E-Heroes are potentially going to be good. Summon an E-Hero monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your side of the field or grave. Now, since it says listed on it, I believe that means we can't use any fusion substitutes, but I guess that doesn't really matter too much, because if you're playing a full-on hero deck, I was thinking about using it with like Grass Looks Greener and just milling a whole bunch of cards and then fusing all your stuff, which could be pretty cheeky. But that's honestly the reason I like it, because I think it's going to be a pretty good card. Also, fusing from the grave is really, really beneficial to gain advantage. Like if you just use this card in hand, 2 monsters from the grave, by banishing them, then yeah, that's like you use this card and get one fusion now. That's a 1-for-1. That's a really good card. Shrink is another good card. They attack you, you chain this card, and then their monster dies or something. But all it does is cut your opponent's monster, or any monster of that's face up. You can cut its original attack in half. But it is original attack, so if they've gained like 4,000 attack, they only lose their original attack. So that's one of the downsides of this. One of the upsides is it is a damage step card, because it does mess with their stats. So I think it could be a really, really decently competitive card, because you know how damage step cards can be really, really good in the meta. So Shrink, not too bad. Next up, we're moving on to them SR. So we got Iron Chain Dragon. Iron Chain Dragon is pretty cool, because it comes from like an archetype kind of Iron Chain cards, which all they really do is like burn and mill your opponent, which is actually pretty degenerate, pretty interesting. So every time that Konami tries to make a deck dedicated to burning your opponent or milling your opponent, I feel like sometimes it falls flat, because the better burn strategies are usually the more degenerate ones, where like some creative player just combines a whole bunch of random pieces together and comes up with something really annoying. As for Iron Chain Dragon, it looks pretty interesting. It says you can remove from play all Iron Chain monsters from your grave to have this card gain 200 attack for each card removed until the end phase. So it's only until the end phase. So you're gonna get one big boost once. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, send the top 3 cards from your opponent's deck to the grave. So I feel like it doesn't know exactly what it wants to be, because it wants to be a battle card. It wants to mill your opponent's deck. So it's not Warm Worm. It's not like mill. It's not Warm Worm mill. It's not burn. It's not like offensive. It's trying to be everything, and I feel like that's where the deck might fall short. But I feel like it could be pretty cheeky. We got Fabled Rajin as our next SR, and this is a pretty decent Fabled card. It's a level 5, so it could be easily made with probably like two Fabled cards. So you can go into 2 Fableds, make this guy, and then his effect is when he's summoned or synchro summoned, you have 1 or less cards in your hand, you can draw until you have 2 cards in your hand. So the whole point of using this guy is you're gonna want to use all cards in your hand. You're gonna want to be at 0 cards so you can get a free +2, which is nice. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to get a free +2 cards added to hand. So maybe if you have some back row, you can set it. Maybe discard as many Fabled monsters as you can. So maybe summon all your Fabled, do all your Fabled shenanigans. Leave yourself with like 1 or 0 cards, and you can potentially get a +1 or a +2, which is not bad. Next up, we got Fabled Raven. Fabled Raven, like I said before, is a really good fiend tuner. It's just a really good tuner. It's a level 2 to start off. You can discard cards and it gains levels, so you can use it offensively just to beat down. You can actually power it up by discarding like 3 cards, making it gain to attack to be like 2,500. So that's pretty cool. That could be pretty good in that situation. Also, you can use it as a tuner, so you can summon it, sync for 2 and whatever other number you have, or you can play with the levels and modulate and really go for that exact Fabled you want. Also, it does say you have to discard cards to gain that attack boost end level, and a lot of Fableds, to be fair, get their effects when they are discarded, so you're going to be getting a lot of pluses from all the Fableds that you discard. So this card is going to be really good as well. Next up, we got Karakuri Komachi MDL 224 Ninishi, which is also a number pun. If you guys don't know, Karakuris are getting more support in this box, which is pretty cool, I guess. So Karakuri's synchros are here, and they look pretty fun. I mean, we already looked at one of their synchro boss monsters, but yeah, it says this card must attack if able. Pretty bad effect with a 0 attack monster, 1900 defense, but that's not really going to be what you're going to be using this card for, because it says when this face-up card is selected as attack target, change it to face and change its battle position. If it's in defense and they attack it, it changes to attack. Is that how that works? You're basically not going to want to use this thing to be on the field without synchroing. That's the whole point. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Karakuri monster in addition to your normal summon set. So you can basically summon her, get a free normal summon as well, so you get another normal, you can synchro, and that's pretty much the whole point. You want to summon this, summon something else, synchro, without leaving them exposed on the field. And that's pretty much that. I mean, depending on what levels you run, you can kind of hit into a variety of synchros, so pretty decent. Karakuri Merchant MDL 177 Inashichi, which is more number puns. E has an Ichi 1, Nana 7, and Shichi is also 7. So Inashichi. So GG, number puns for the win. Whatever. This card must attack a Fable. Once again, a low attack monster, but don't worry too much about it. It says when this face-up attack position card is selected as an attack target, change it to defense position. Okay, so pretty cool. So you can summon it. It'll go to defense if it's attacked at least, so there's that. When this card is normal summon, you can add a Karakuri from your deck to your hand. So I'm thinking of combos with Ninishi and this guy, so you can go into her. I'm gonna call it a her because she's got a dress. Screw you guys. I got this card. You're gonna summon it, and then you go into this guy. So that's a 5 right there. You already have a level 5. You can normal summon this guy, and then you get a search with this guy, so you get another card added, and then you can synchro with these 2 into like an Armades, which is pretty good as well. And then you still have that other card, that other Karakuri card. Not even, it doesn't have to be a monster, it can be a card, and then you can use it for whatever benefits. Next up, we got Koa'ki Meiru Rook Lord over here, a new Koa'ki Meiru boss monster. Before we only had the Maximus, I think, the big old dragon, which is pretty cool. This guy has a pretty similar effect, not exactly the same, but it's somewhat similar. It says says during each of your end phases, obviously all Karakuris have this effect. The card is dead unless you either throw away an iron core or reveal a card of its same type. So in this case, warrior. So you reveal a warrior. Does that mean you can run it in a warrior deck? I don't know, because you do need to kind of benefit from using a bunch of Koa'ki Meiru monsters in the deck to begin with. You can tribute summon this card by tribute summoning one Koa'ki Meiru monster, which is a really cool effect. You have one Koa'ki Meiru, that monster on the field that's kind of holding the fort down, and you can tribute it away, summon this bad boy, and when this guy is normal summoned, which you're going to be doing, you can remove from play one Koa'ki Meiru card in your grave. So instantly you tributed a Koa'ki Meiru monster, you can banish that thing and destroy up to 2 cards your opponent controls, which is really good. So you can basically by turn 2 you can be gaining some insane advantage. So I think Koa'ki Meiru Rook Lord could be pretty good as a boss monster in his own deck. Next up, Shield Crush. I mean, pretty standard card. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it before. It just destroy a defense position monster on the field. Next up, we got Karakuri Cash. Select one face-up Karakuri monster you control, add one level 4 or lower Karakuri monster from your deck to your hand, and change the battle position of the selected monster. This is really good. It's just a free search card. I think this is going to be really optimal in Karakuris. In general, you can probably use this as a card you search. For Inashichi over here, you can go for him, search the search card, and then activate the search, switch this guy to defense or something, search whatever you want, and just thin out the deck and then synchro. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Or you use the effect to basically switch one of your already defense position Karakuri monsters to attack. So basically it just saves you the trouble of switching their battle position yourself. So you use that because you're going to do it anyway. So you would use that, switch them to attack position, and then you get a free search. So that's pretty good. I honestly have to say, Karakuri Cash is definitely looking like it might be like a 3 of in the deck. I don't know. It looks really good. Speaking of really good, we got another card that's like going to be amazing in Koa'ki Meiru. We got Diamond Core, which I believe is one of the newer cards, because I think this was one of the newer ones that was added and made the deck a lot better. But we got Diamond Core of Koa'ki Meiru. This is a really amazing card because it says add one Koa'ki Meiru card from your deck to your hand. That's the effect, except itself. So it's a deck thinner. You activate this, search the desired card, GG. Also, on top of that, it has an effect while it's in the grave. You can banish this card from the grave. For the rest of this turn, Koa'ki Meiru monsters you control cannot be destroyed. So that's another thing that's really awesome, because that can make Koa'ki Meiru is quite competitive if you run this at 3. You can basically say, this turn I don't want to pay any costs, I don't want to discard any cores, so I'm just going to go ahead and banish this, and now my monsters can't be destroyed by their own effects. So that's really interesting. I believe that's how it works. That's my assumption, at least. Also, you can use it aggressively. You can banish this card, attack into your opponent, knowing if they have, like, maybe with, like, Mind Scan or something, I don't know, knowing that they have, like, a Widespread Ruin or something, or Sakuretsu Armor, seeing as that's popular, maybe even attacking it like Maneater Bug. Your monsters cannot be destroyed, which is really hilarious. So that card alone is going to be really good for Koa'ki Meiru. So if you're a Koa'ki Meiru fan, like I know some of you are, you're going to really love this card. And next up, we got Synchro Material, which you got some more cheeky shenanigans over here. Basically, this card is going to let you synchro summon using your opponent's monster. That's all it really says. You can use your opponent's stuff, but you cannot conduct your battle phase when you use it. So, I mean, it's kind of like a, what is that card? Soul Exchange. You tribute your opponent's monsters, kind of. You can use your opponent's monster as a tribute. It's the same exact thing, except it's a trap. And last up, we got Unending Nightmare, which is the last SR we're looking at. And Unending Nightmare looks like a pretty cheeky card. Once again, it's one of them cards that's going to put you in a life point deficit, because it says you can pay 1,000 life points, then target one face-up spell or trap card on the field. So, field spells, equips, that kind of stuff, and destroy it. Pretty cool. You can only activate the effect of Unending Nightmare once per chain. Per chain! Did you read that? So basically that means you can activate it 3 times on your turn if you really want to. Pay 3,000, destroy 3 cards if they're in separate chains. So that's pretty cheeky. I have to say, that's pretty cheeky. So you can do that, but you're going to be paying a lot of life points. It's also a continuous trap, so it's not going to leave the field. So you can constantly be using it. So if you have a life point gain deck, like with that fairy dragon looking card that we talked about a while back, if you have a deck that heals your life points like crazy, you can make this card pretty useful, but it only destroys face-ups, so I don't know how good it's going to be in general, unless in the future we get a whole bunch of like support that relies on face-up spells and traps. But whatever, that's pretty much it for all these cards. I'm going to go ahead and give some special mentions to some cards that I think are going to be really interesting in this set. The first of which being Lucian, Nether Lord of the Dark World. I confuse those. So Lucian, we're getting more Dark World support, which you guys know I kind of like Dark Worlds because I have the deck IRL. It's a fun deck. We don't have Grapha yet, but this guy is one of the newer Dark World cards. Lucian is a newer card, and his effect basically states if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, okay, which most Dark Worlds have, special summon it from the grave. If this card was discarded from your hand to your grave by an opponent's card effects, if your opponent made you discard it, you can special summon one fiend type monster from your deck to either side of the field. So you can basically go into Ceruli, the little guy, you put him on your opponent's side of the field, activate its effect, it lets you discard from your hand. So that's pretty much the whole setup for this guy. It's consistency for Ceruli, so you can get your plays off. So that's pretty much all that Lucian does, to be honest. You discard him. But only if you use a Ceruli, I believe. So I don't know. I feel like it's a bit questionable. It's an okay beater, I guess. I mean, it could be a pretty cool boss monster, 2400. So that's pretty much that. I think this guy's pretty cool. Next up, Synchron Explorer. I had to give a shout out to this card. I think this card is going to be really, really good because it says when this card is a normal summon, you can target one Synchron monster in your graveyard and special summon that target, but it's effectively negated. So I'm talking about this one because it's basically a junk Synchron, except it only works with Synchron monsters. So if you have a full-on like Synchron junk deck, you can go and junk Synchron to summon this thing from the grave, or this thing to summon junk Synchron. So it's a lot more consistency. That's why I'm giving a shout out to this card. And last up, we got Gateway to Dark World. Now this card I think is really, really, really good. Like, not gonna lie, I think this card is like amazingly kind of busted. I was even using it in the TCG because it says you can target one Dark World monster in your grave, special summon it. It's a monster reborn, and it's a quick play. And it says you cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can set. So it's basically you're allowed to set your stuff, but you can't summon. But the whole point, it's a quick play. You use it on your opponent's turn, and GG, you can get free boss monsters for days, especially since you're gonna be discarding all your stuff. So that's pretty cheeky. I have to say that's really, really good in the Dark World deck. But I don't know. It doesn't enable you to like OTK, but it does let you play a more like aggressive kind of beatdown version of Dark Worlds, which is pretty cool because I love it when they like change the way a deck works and makes it and give you more variety to play the deck. So that's pretty much that. This card's an N. I can't believe this card's an N. This card is actually really, really good. But whatever. That's pretty much it for today, guys. Speaking of which, my boy YT Dan made a really amazing YouTube rewind. I really hope you guys check it out. I do make an appearance in it, so GG, there you go. And it's just amazing. It's really amazing. Just like all his work, his editing is on point. Please go ahead and check him out. I'm sorry I had to leave this till the very end of the video, but I don't know. I had to get that out there. I had to at least mention it. Also, by the way, PewDiePie also made a new rewind as well. So today's the day for the rewind, and PewDiePie and a few meme lords made a really, really good rewind. So please check that out as well. But that's pretty much that, guys. That's all I have to say for today. Let me know what archetype you guys are excited for, especially if you've already reviewed the box and you've seen a lot of the N's and R's that I have not talked about. Let me know if you're excited for any card in particular, because I want to see what I can keep my eye out for. But whatever, that's pretty much it for today, guys. And if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more dueling shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys.